Hi, everyone. For those of you who know who I am, that's great. If you don't, my name is Paul Atkinson, and I am the author of The 5 Steps of the Sale and the creator of the 90-Day Business Accelerator. Our relationship with Agent Locator is phenomenal because we're here to help you grow your business. And some of the techniques that we provide you today is copyrighted and protected information, but I'm here to share because I love Agent Locator. Okay, and therefore it passes on to you. And I've used Agent Locator myself to generate business. So I'm going to share with you some slides, and I always like to start out with just a little bit of video while we wait. So here we go. And I was in Chicago for book signing a couple weeks ago, and this is a video that the publicist had. So for those of you who don't know about the 5 steps of the sale, how you could influence, persuade, and seduce your clients. Now, seduce doesn't mean it's something that is sexual. Seduce means influencing, and everybody has this certain persona about them, and we study that here at Successful Business Academy. I'm going to show you some techniques how to do that. We're going to role play today, and it's going to be phenomenal. So hang tight, get your pens and paper, and while people are coming, getting seated, getting settled in, we're going to watch maybe like 2-3 minutes of this, and just to entertain you a little bit and learning who we are.
Tells more about his book, The 5 Steps of the Sale. Let's hear it from Sir Paul Atkinson. Good morning, everyone. It's still morning, yes? I'm delighted to be here, and I just want to say thank you so much for being here. It's a nice day, pleasant. I'm Paul Atkinson, and I'm the author of the book, The 5 Steps of the Sale. And a brief introduction to the book is, how many of us here can ask ourselves and say, we all make presentations. Do you agree that we all make presentations? You make presentations? What about it? Do you feel like you make a presentation? Yes? And you? Yes. We all make presentations. 5 Steps of the Sale is a book that is written about my story on how I became a salesperson back in 1993. And I started to fail. I couldn't get anyone to join the Navy. I was sucking. And I was an electrician by trade, and I said to myself, there must be a way to get people to be influenced and persuaded in my presentations. So, hence the 5 Steps of the Sale. And it's a systematic approach of how you present your product or your services. Step 1 is conversation. Step 2 is curiosity. Step 3 is conviction. Step 4 is desire. And then step 5 is flow. So when I learned that and started to use it, I became the top person in every field. So I started to present very well for the United States Navy, sell in the Navy. I moved on to sell cars. I did good. I sold computers. I did good. I had presentations of life insurance and all of that, and real estate brokerage. So if you feel that you're wanting to get a systematic approach to how you give a presentation, then this book would be for you. So all of the viewers there online, we want you to go to Google and just put in the name Paul R. Atkinson, Atkinson, and it will pop up. If you go to Amazon, it's there. Barnes and Noble, it's pretty much everywhere. And I will take some questions if you'd like to know anything. Go right ahead. Tomorrow I'll be here for a book signing from 10:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. and I will be giving away a few copies. And I'll put a little note for you, so be sure to come out wherever you are tomorrow and come and get your book. Be a treat.
All right, let's get into this, guys. Let's get into this. So we're not here. Let me just be clear. I want to be very clear, and I'll show my face. I'm not here to sell you anything. I am here to give you a gift, and the gift is to help your business. So we play these videos. They're public record. They're on YouTube. They're all over. It's just to give you a little comfort level of what we're doing here with your learning. That is all. Not here to sell you anything. So let's get started, okay? All right. So the first thing we should talk about here today is we wanted to grow. It's 2024, and you guys came up with this objection. And how do we handle objections? Well, the best way to handle objections is to know how to influence, persuade, and obviously seduce your clients to move forward. That would be your objective on how to grow your business. Now, I want to do a mic check real quick, and I want to check in. Vanessa, I will need help with the chat, please, because I am not very good at that. I can't multitask like that. So, all right, okay, cool. So right now, I'm going to just, in the chat, you're going to see me say hello. Can everybody see that? Everybody just say yes, yes, yes. And if you're hearing me, so you can see I'm writing and you could hear me. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, cool. So audio visual is good. Everybody is good. You're going to participate. I have questions for you, and you are going to have to role play today because you asked me the question how to handle a client that says, hey, I think the market prices are too high. Is that what you want me to answer? Well, I'm going to answer it. I'm going to need your full attention. I want you to sit up in the chair, get your pen and paper, and accept the gift. So let's get started. All right. What are we going to do in the next 60 minutes or so? Well, right now, about 50 minutes. We are going to find your best assets to move clients forward when you are at your worst. We're going to find a way for you to pull yourself up, and don't be afraid when that client says to you, oh, you know what, I'm not going to do this. Oh, I'm not ready to sign. I'm not ready to make an offer. Your heart is racing. There are techniques on how to handle that, and we're going to give you a little bit of introduction to that. You're going to learn how to influence, persuade, and seduce your clients by using the 5 steps of the sale introduction. It's a lot of information. I'm going to introduce you to it. If you want to learn more about it, that is fine. It's all over the place out there on the internet. You could find out, or you can contact us directly. And I'm going to show you how to use the 5 steps of the sale by handling objections that you've presented today and any other objections that you choose to share. So we're going to do some role playing, so stick around. You're going to learn why you must know how to handle objections. If you don't already, in your real estate business, it's very important that you know how to handle objections, because objections, you're going to discover what they are today. I'm going to tell you what objections are. And here you go. You're going to see currently what you're doing, because I'm going to ask you a question where you are right now. You're going to answer that question to yourself. We're going to role play it, and you're going to see when you come up here how I'm able to handle it, and you're going to learn from that. And then we're going to jump far in a fast track, and we're going to kind of show you some techniques. And basically, what I'm role playing, I might say, okay, stop. Do you see what I just did? So this is really, really interactive, and it's phenomenal training. So I want you to be ready and be ready to take the notes. If you have some friends that are out there right now, you want to text them this link to this webinar and tell them to come on now. And then we're just going to bring it all together, and then I have a gift for you. And I always give a gift, so you're going to be blown away by the gift, so stick around, okay? Now, you said to me, Paul, what do I do when a client says, I think the prices are too high right now? How do you handle that? We're going to role play, and we're going to show you how to handle that. However, before we do that, let's get a little bit of house cleaning and still give some of the people some time to come in. Who am I? Let me tell you a story about me handling objections. That's me over there. This is this little young cat right here. You guys see the screen. I was in the United States Navy for 14 years. And this little ball, in case there's no military people here, means that I was an electrician, a second-class petty officer. And this is Bob. Bob was my supervisor. And these are all the medals that we used to win year after year after year after year, continuing to be the top salesperson in the Navy Recruiting District of Jacksonville. But I discovered in many, many years ago, 1993, when I started to recruit, that sales was very tough. I was not getting deals done. However, I figured something out. I said it had to be something like electrical work as an electrician. That's what I was, electrician. And I said to myself, sales must be a systematic approach. I said to myself, handling an objection when a client says, no, I don't want to join the Navy. I want to go to the Army instead. There must be a systematic approach for me to twist this guy's arm and like, come over here. And I figured it out. And you're about to learn that. So you want to hang tight. All right. And now, so my history has been for many years. It's been since 1993. It's like, my gosh, it's over 30 years today that we're here. Yes, I am the author of the 5 steps of the sale. That is correct. And if you just go ahead and you scan that QR code, you'll see our landing page, and it's the 5stepsofthesale.com. So the number 5. So it's the number 5 stepsofthesale.com, or scan the QR code. So you can learn more and build credibility in who you're learning from today. This technique of handling objections has allowed me to close 99% in my presentations. My presentations to my buyers, to my sellers, to my landlords, to my tenants, to my investors, to selling cars, to selling life insurance, to selling eyeglasses, to selling computers. It doesn't matter. It's a systematic approach. And I released the book in April of 2022. So, using the techniques, it has enabled me to sell the United States Navy very easily, computers very easily, cars very easily, life insurance products very easily, and real estate very easily. As a matter of fact, this is my first book that I wrote, and it's called The Art and Science of Real Estate Agent Day 1, Close My Deal. Yes, I'm grateful. The very first day that I got my real estate license, my brother, Richard, was a mortgage broker, and we shared an office together. I was a financial planner. I was selling life insurance products. And I went and got my real estate license like most of you did for part-time work. And when I walked in the office, I told my brother, hey, Rich, yeah, bro, I got the real estate license. He said, I knew you would. I knew you would. And he says, here is a lead. This guy is qualified for $250,000 FHA. It was about 12 o'clock. I put the paper down and I called my life insurance people. And an hour later, I called the guy. I said, hey, man, I'm Richie's brother. I'm a realtor. How can I help you? The guy says he wants this, that, this, that, this, that. I wrote it down. And I said, okay, sounds good. I'm going to get things ready for you. When do you want to see properties? The guy says, how about this evening? I said, what? Oh my gosh. He says, this evening. I said, okay, no problem. I ran and I got a broker, Century 21. I went to the board. I did everything, got properties. I showed them, closed them. That night, I got a check on a kitchen counter, $500 deposit made payable to Century 21. That night, day 1, closed my deal. So why did I do that? How was I able to do that? Okay. This is not to brag or to show off. It's about understanding that you are given things as a realtor that you are actually in deficit with. You do not have, or most brokers don't have, a selling system in place. Am I right or wrong? And I'm gonna just stop right here, right now. And I want to realize before we go any further. In the chat, I want you to now answer this question. Does your real estate broker today, who can say yes or no inside of the chat, does your broker have a weekly, monthly, bi-weekly practicing of your selling system? You know what a selling system is? It's like a technique. Who's doing it on a weekly basis? Show me in the chat. No, I got no so far. Nope. Okay. One person say yes. Nope. Okay. Nope. Can everybody see this? You once a month? Okay, once a month. Look, can you see that? Do you see? Keep going. No, once a month. No, once a month. That's why I'm here. I love you. I love you. And you're failing. Point blank. You might plateau. You might be making 5 million right now, 2 million a year, 10 million, 10 million, 50 million a year. But guess what? you plateau. Why do you plateau? Why you get so? Why can't you just keep growing every year? Just keep growing until you get old and die. God bless you. Why? No. Look at the chat. No, 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 no. Everybody says no. So if our industry is not looking out for us, well, who the heck is going to look out for us? It's very important that you realize that your success is driven by your ability to sell. And selling is like karate. You have to practice every day. Objection handling, you've got to practice that every day. Mindset and techniques, you've got to practice that every day. So we're going to show you a very valuable system today, and it's up to you to go find something that can help you. Now, why do you need to know how to influence, persuade, and seduce your clients? Because it will cause you to grow your business right here. It will get you more closings when you're able to do that. And it will build the strong relationships that will lead to constant weekly referrals. Yep, that's correct. When you handle an objection and you cause someone to actually take a step forward, they actually appreciate that when you do it the right way. And you're able to build a strong reputation. So that is why you're here today, to learn what it is to handle objections and how to handle it very well. Now, let's get a little facts before we get into the techniques and then we get into the role play. Because you have to know where you are. Harvard Business Review, Steve Martin, he says that the reasons why salespeople like you and me don't close is because of these reasons. Well, they're not respected. So ask yourself, does your buyer and seller respect you? They don't know how to converse effectively. Do you know how to communicate with a client effectively? And what does effectively mean? Effectively mean, when you're talking about persuasion and influence, there's two things about persuasion and influence. Number one, you've got to know that you're responsible for sending and receiving communication. So you're listening very carefully and you are repeating back to them. It's like playing tennis. So they know. That's how you influence someone. The other part about influencing is that you are educating and you're inspiring the person. You're educating them. Well, you see, Mr. Buyer, you want to make this offer over asking price because look at the dining room table over there. There are 5 business cards. I saw that. So that means that there's more people. Education. And then once we make our offer higher than everybody else, you're going to get this beautiful home for you and Sarah. Inspire. All right? You need to know how to do that. That is what this is saying. They can't clearly explain how their solution helps the buyer themselves. And then they are too self-centered. How many realtors do we come across that are really like, no, you can't do this. No, 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 I'm not going to take this. I'm not going to do that to my client. My client. So you have to understand how to carry yourself. They use the wrong closing strategy. There's a secret to closing, and you need to know that secret, that's for sure. Don't alleviate the risk of buying their solution. They don't really. And then finally, there's no connection. So this is out there. Harvard Business Review, they study it. People study it. I'm not going to get into the pain anymore, but I want you to recognize that because remember I said that you are going to grow from your worst state. Well, let's consider right now, where are you? Do a poll on yourself. I want you to do a poll right now. Do a poll and put it into the chat on a scale of 1 to 10. And we're talking about how would you rate your selling skills, your ability to convince someone today? How would you rate it? With 10 being the most productive itself, 10 being the most, let's say, strong, like you can really, really convince someone. Okay, we see it. Oh, look at that. It's coming in. Look at that. Some people are saying, okay, what do we got here? We got 6s. Gabe, 8, 9. Stella, why are you here? Stella is a 9. Gabriella, 8. Right? You feel so strong. This is 9. 9. Okay, beautiful. Look at that. Maria, 3. Okay. So a lot of people are in the lower ends, below 5. A few people are up there close to 10. Now, remember, we are going to get some goodies today. And all of you folks up there that says that you are a 7, uh, Shauna, Gabriella, that's an 8. Stella, that's a 9. Gabe, that's an 8. Sonia, 7. Aaron, 8. Fahim, 9. All these top guys, would you please volunteer? We need about 5 to 7 volunteers. If you would just raise your hand. Look at Barb. Barb is a 10. Come on up here. You got 10 in the selling skills. You're impeccable. You're closing deals left and right. You're handling objections. Come and share with us. Tell us what you're doing and share with us and tell us how we can get what you've got to learn how to sell so effectively. So good, wonderful. Who's the first? Okay, who we got? Gabe. We got Stella. All right, yay! All right. Before we get into giving the techniques, we have people that are here to share with us, and we're going to take that time. When we talk about Gabe, when we talk about handling objections, and thanks for being here, Gabe, we would like you to just understand right now that we're wanting to learn together today. What you know and what we don't know, we would like to open that up. Please, we want to know what techniques and how do you feel we should handle objections? And why do you feel that your selling skills, Gabe, is where it is today? Go
I
ahead.
think,
That's 2 minutes.
thanks, Paul. Appreciate it. Yeah. So, from what I've had experience with that was positive is try your best to ask open-ended questions, not yes or no questions. When you first make contact with a lot of these leads, you want to engage in dialogue and you want to establish a rapport with them. So try to always find some common ground right away. And when I call a lot of these new leads, I'm not saying I'm calling them like they're my friends, but it's a pretty close to of that kind of a tone. So you really want to be warm and inviting and not sound salesy, if
So
that makes sense.
yes, it does. It sure does. And you see, Gabe, what we're talking about and what you're saying right now is you got a first thing you need to do. The first thing, number one, step one is get a connection. What phenomenal way to put this. Because, guys and gals, when you make a connection, and that person likes you, listen to you, trust you, and believe in you, the rest of the sale is very, very easy because it's all about just educating and finding their wants and needs. Gabe, thank you so much. We really appreciate that. And we're going to handle this objection. So anybody want to stick around to role play with me, that'd be great. What about you, Stella? Tell me, just like Gabe, you mentioned that your selling skills is at an all-time 9. And please, how did you get that? And how can we get
Um, so what I do is I study my product really, really well. So when I do just following what Gabe was saying, building that confidence and having that rapport with the client, first of all, and gaining the confidence by not only like not focusing on the sale, but educating the prospect on what they're looking at, what avenues are available, actually build a lot of trust, and that leads its path towards the closing or the sale that we are eventually aiming for. So, my the reason I actually have put out a 9 is for the fact, it reason actually looking at it not as a sales perspective from the beginning, more as an educational perspective, which more a lot of people are open to like get informed and what is available and as such. So in that way, you build a lot of trust, relationship, which eventually leads to a longer term, not only one transaction, but in a longer term referral based or future transactions as well.
That's so true, Stella. Wonderful. Thank you so much. So what you're saying is, hey, you know what? Not only do you piggyback from Gabe and you get connected, but you also build the trust and you educate the clients. And it leads into you being able to handle the objections. Is that what you're saying?
That's exactly what I'm saying. And it only not give you that opportunity to work with them on one transaction, but multiple transactions going forward, because you will be that person that they go to when they have questions regarding their real estate.
Wonderful. And when somebody objects to you, when you
Mhm.
are on a listing presentation, Stella, or you are with a buyer, and either one, and you're saying to them, hey, would you like to make an offer? Hey, would you like to do an open house this weekend? And they
Mhm.
object. How do you
Mhm.
handle that? What first thing comes to your mind?
So asking an open-ended question as to, may I ask why that you're objecting to, is like, what is more important to you about not having an open house, or, not listing it right now? And, trying to get down to the actual reason, and then coming up with information that is more productive for them to think about, and, potentially change their mind, or, in the future as well.
Beautiful, well put. An objection is nothing more than a question in disguise. That is
Mhm.
right. And you take that objection and you turn it into a question, and you just turn around and answer that question. And you
Mhm.
educate them. Good job, good job. So you see the power of the people here. We love you guys. Thank you so much for sharing. And then I'm not going to watch the chat anymore. Let's get back to the slides. I have two people up here so far. Anybody else that wants to come up, don't be shy. Even if you're at a 3 or 2, don't worry. You don't have to be a strong seller to be here to participate today. So if I could get 2 more people to come up, that'd be great, because we're getting ready to role play. Now, what is the 5 steps of the sale? The 5 steps of the sale is a system that I have been using for more than 30 years. In 1993, when I started my recruiting work, I actually was failing as a recruiter. And I came up with this systematic approach like Stella and Gabe, who use a systematic way and understand in their mind that we have to take our clients through a wheel. Okay. So I'm going to just kind of write on this a little bit. Now, the step one, you have to get your client to like you, to listen to you, and to trust you, and to actually believe in you. That's step one, conversation. So when you get on that phone with the client, like Gabe said earlier, you're gonna treat it like it's a friend. Hey, Johnny, how you doing, man? Johnny, I like that's a nice name. My uncle name is Johnny, man. You know I like you already. My uncle used to always bring me back a cola was cola when I was a kid, and candies. How can you associate? Is it a name? Is it the area code? Is it the accent? There are things and techniques that you can use to associate and to get someone to like you and to listen to you. And you need to learn them and practice them every day. So the conversation is the first thing that you need to establish. Now, listen to me very carefully. Inside of the conversation step of the sale, there are milestones that you have to reach. Number one, you've got to get the client to like you, to listen to you, to trust you, to believe in you. After you've done that, then you're going to get their want, their need, and their DBM, their dominant buying motive. It's an emotion. After you finish getting that, then the final step is for you to get their authority to buy. These are all milestones that you must achieve in the 5 steps of the sales step one conversation. Let me repeat it one more time. Get your client to like you, to listen to you, to trust you, to believe in you. After that, then you ask them, what do you want? What do you need? And how you're going to feel once you get it. That's called a DBM. After you've done that, then you say to them, and this is a good verbal bridge for you to write down, you need to get the authority to buy. Is there anybody else that needs to be involved in your decision-making process? When we make an offer on the house, should I be sending the contract to anybody else, your brother, sister, a child? Is there anybody that needs to be here right now when we get the offers presented to you, Mr. Seller? Should I be sending the contracts over to anyone, attorney or anybody to review? Authority to buy. Very important. This is a systematic program. It's off the chain once you use it. If you're sitting right now at a 9, you could be a 10. If you're sitting right now at a 3, you could be a 5, a 6, a 7, wherever you are. The next step is for you to keep going, and you need to create curiosity. After you have completed all of this in step one, you now make them hungry to hear your proposal. They're sitting up in the chair with the big ears, And they're like, oh my gosh, are you? Hey, Stella, I like you. Oh my God, show me this listing presentation. Oh, Stella, show me this house. They're interested, very, very interested. When you know you have that established and they are interested, and there's a couple of ways to do that by asking open-ended questions, so to speak. But I want you to close up the questions at this point, and I want you to repeat what they want, what they need, and what their DBM is. For example, you're going to say, you said that you wanted a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. Is that correct? Yes. And you said that it needs to be in Ottawa. Is that correct? Yes. And you also mentioned that once I find you this house in Ottawa, that is 3-bedroom, 2-bath, with all of these things, you're going to feel fantastic and you're going to feel so good because it's your first home. Is that correct? Yes. Oh my goodness, I have the perfect opportunity for you. You got to raise your energy. That's what curiosity is about. You got to bring them up. Now, the next step is conviction. And this is where you present your proposal to the client. Because they already like you, listen to you, trust you, and they're listening to you and they're very attentive, you are pretty much getting this thing sold. Inside of this section, you have to present the want, the need, and the DBM again. You have to show them all of what they want and need inside of your presentation. And then you have to make sure that you establish what we call the undeniable truth. The undeniable truth is where you state 3 of their desires inside of your presentation. For example, you said that once I get you the 2-bedroom house, you're going to feel good. Is that correct? Yes. Don't you see all of the listings here? I've showed you right on the computer 5 different options. Isn't this good? We need to go look at them right now. Something like that. You gotta do that 3 times. And I don't have time to go in depth, but right here, you have to make sure your presentation adheres to the person's learning style. What if you're at a listing presentation and you're sitting at the desk, the dining room table? What if the seller learns from one of the seller learned from audio, the other one is visual. You have to make sure, and there's 3 learning styles: audio, visual, kinetic. So you need to adhere to that, and you need to make sure that when you're doing your presentation, you have the laptop with the PowerPoint presentation, you have some flyers with to hand out, and you can ask, hey, what is your best learning styles? Is it audio, visual, or kinetic? Because if they say, well, I learn when I hands-on when I do things, and then you say, okay, well, you're going to be my pen writer today. Here, take this pen, and everything I say, I want you to write it down for me, okay? Remember, okay, I'm with Century 21, write that down, and I'm the top agent, write that down. You've got to be able to be smart, to influence. These are minor things that we teach. However, they are so critical. So critical. Once you get all of this here established, along the way, inside of the step 3, you must be doing what we call trial closes. Now, trial closes are where you're simply just feeling them out if they're ready to go. Hey, I could do the listing appointment. I could do the open house next week, blah, 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 blah. Hey, how do you feel about this house right now? What would you like to offer the seller? They're asking $1.2 million. That's a trial close when you're showing right there. Now, after you get a good yes with the trial close, you just take them straight into closing. And you bypass the objections. It's not there. Because when you do step 1, 2, and 3 very good, you don't have objections. But we're here today because you say you are having objections. And the clients are telling you, hey, the prices are too high. Okay, so let's show you how you handle objections. But first, what is an objection? An objection is nothing more than a question in disguise. So let's just look into the use of the 5 steps to the sale in handling objections. You're going to need to make sure that you have some kind, this slide is from the lessons that we teach. You make sure that you have the right perception. So when you go into see your buyer, seller, whatever, please make sure that they can perceive you as being a professional, because you need to be dressing and you need to be professionally, because perception becomes one's own reality. So in your influencing and persuading someone to take action, you have to have the right perception. You should be dressed and professionally presenting yourself. You have to be able to gain trust. We use other studies to show people how to gain trust, but you have to figure that out. We don't have time to show you that here today. How do you get somebody to trust you? And you need to work on that. Google it, study it, call me, whatever. Call Stella, call Gabe, if they would allow you. But you need to learn it. How do you get somebody to trust you? The ability to read the playing field. What the heck is going on around that client? You go inside of a listing appointment. What do you see? How do they have the house? And, if you're sitting at the dining room table on the listing appointment and the husband is sitting there and the wife is all the way in the kitchen washing up the dishes, should you continue with the presentation? No. Read the playing field. You got to bring everybody together. Why is she over there? Okay, you got to bring it. Why is she not interested? Oh, wait a second. She's not on the title. Oh, it's just his name on the title. But still, I need her input. So bring her over. Read the playing field. All right. If the buyer is not paying attention while you're showing the houses, then really, what's going on here? Read the playing field. Very important. The ability to use the association technique, mirror technique, psychological reciprocity. These are 3 techniques that we use to actually get someone to like us, listen to us, trust us, and believe in us. Psychological reciprocity is where you give your client credit for their beliefs and they're morally obligated to give you credit for yours. You must have the right mindset. And here at the Academy, we use something that's called a nuclear mind and daily exercises of positive expectations. But these are the things that you need to practice every single day to be a sharp, sharp, sharp agent. Very interesting. So you need to know that. That's on your screen. So now, here is the time that you've been waiting for. I need participations. I need some folks to come up here and to work with me on, hey, I think the prices are too high right now. So let's role play, and who is going to be the person that will come up here and participate? Well, we got Gabe. Okay, somebody. So there's Sonia and there's Fahim. Let's go with ladies first. All right. Let's say Sonia. We'll choose you. And Sonia, tell us a little bit about where you're from and why you're here, please. Can you can, I think you're on mute, but is everyone hearing Sonia? I'm not hearing her.
No, I'm not hearing her either.
Yeah. Sonia, is everything okay? Can you give us a thumbs up? Are you ready to speak? Let's go to Fahim. Fahim, tell us why you're here and what part of the world are you, my friend?
Hi, Paul. Thanks for taking me. So I'm from Toronto area and I'm working as a real estate agent since 7 years. I've been successful in my own field, but why I'm here, I'm just here. I'm starting to expand my business in the real estate by adding on another venue called agent locator.
Okay.
In order to go through the agent locator, I'm looking forward to invest and project my business more
Good.
effectively.
You want to see more
So
business.
so when I saw your topic, I think the prices are too high. That's
Yeah.
a very, very common question being asked so many times from my clients.
Yeah.
And there are not a single way you can address or reply to that. It all depends upon your previous conversation. You can read up their mindset, what they are up to, what they are looking, and what their range is, and what made them think to that their prices are too high, because it's a relative term. If you don't have $1 million in your pocket, the properties which are $1 million are definitely be higher for them. But if they have $1 million range, and you can bring the right properties within their range, within their requirements, so that property you can convince them that yes, the property price which it is kind of a realistic.
Okay, got it. So let's do this, all right? Let's take the opportunity right now and go with Fahim to be the client, and I will be the realtor. And this is being recorded, so you're good. You can always train back on it. Now, we are going to handle this objection. Fahim, in this role play, you are to say to me when I give you a trial close, you should say to me, Paul, no. I think the prices are too high right now. Do you understand, Fahim?
Yeah.
Role play.
Yes.
Okay, good. You're going to choose whether you are a buyer or you are a seller. It doesn't matter to me. So we just need to know which realm we're talking about here. And then that's
Buyer.
one. Oh, your buyer. Okay, good. All right. Stella and Gabe, you guys are very advanced. So that's a wonderful thing. While you're here, we don't want to waste your time. So would you please, Stella and Gabe, when I'm finished with Fahim, each of you get an opportunity, Gabe and Stella, to do a role play with me with an objection or a challenge that you feel you might encounter or you have had or you're anticipating and you'd like to see if there's anything that we could contribute to overcoming it. Is that fair enough? Yes? Just say yes, Gabe. Okay, Gabe put his hand up. Stella, yes? Okay, good. All right, everyone. So we have our audience here and let's go. So deep breath. Woo. I'm going to go ahead and give the camera to so you can see my face because body language is important. So learn my techniques by what I'm doing and what you see. Okay, good. So Fahim, you are the buyer. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right, now let's establish something here. I'm using the 5 steps of the sale. And in the 5 steps of the sale, I connected with you. You already like me. You're listening to me. You trust me and you believe in me. I already established that. And I
Okay.
already know what you want. I know what you need and I know how you're going to feel. Let's just save time, right? I know all of that. And I made you curious enough to come out to see a property. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So at least I got you out. It's not that I'm on the phone with you and you're saying the prices are too high. I'm not even coming out. Is that correct? Which one is it? Tell me which one it is.
So I'm out with you and we are heading to see a property
Okay,
for showing. And you have already arranged for four properties of my interest. And we are
beautiful.
meeting first time at the property to see it. And with the mindset I have already, which kind of objections or questions I have in my mind, and you are there to welcome
Okay,
me.
beautiful. Thank you so much. Woo! I'm ready. I'm ready.
Okay.
So here we go. We've just seen the first house. And Fahim, I'm role playing now, guys. I'm in the role. Okay, bear with me. I'm in the role. Fahim, this house right here, how do you feel about this house? It does have the 4 bedrooms that you're looking for. It does have the open plan, and I can see the crown molded. I know you mentioned that you wanted an updated house. How do you feel on this one?
Yeah, Paul, I can see that one, that the house, which it is mostly 90% up to my requirements, right?
Yes,
It has the 4 bedroom and I like the open concept, everything. And the thing is, which I like about this property is there is a basement finish with the proposition of putting on rent, right? So I am into this property, but still I am little bit skeptical about the market right now. So there, the way the price tag they have put on it, it looks like on a higher side. And let me think over it. What you say? What you say, Paul?
well, the one good thing I could say is that you like the house. Is that correct? You feel good
Yes, sir.
about it. Okay, good.
Yeah.
And you like the fact that you're able to rent out in the basement and generate income to help you to pay for that price difference that you have in your mind that you think should be lower. So if it's a little bit higher, well, perhaps the basement can subsidize that. I gotta see that, but I'm not really sure yet. So, first of all, what do you feel that you would like to offer? They're asking $1.2 million. What do you feel you want to offer? Fahim?
Okay, so Paul, just within brackets, I'm just giving you real time this my experience. So
Sure.
bear with me.
Yeah.
So this is within the brackets. So brackets closed. So the property, yeah, Paul, they are asking 1.2 million, but looking up the market, the interest rates, and the uncertainty in the market, I still feel like it should be like close to million 1.5, oh million 50,000. That's what I'm thinking of.
Oh,
What do you say, Paul?
oh, Fahim. So what I'm understanding is that you're liking this house. Is that correct?
Yes.
And you would love to get this home so you can turn around and rent out the basement and generate income. Is that correct?
Yes,
But
oh, sure.
Fahim, what you're saying is that the seller is asking $1.2 million, and you think that they really should be asking like about $200,000 less. Is that correct?
Yes. No, I know that the market, it used to be high, and that same property,
Good.
in a good days, it used to be 1.4, 1.5 million even, right? But
Yeah.
nowadays, I was looking at the market, and my friend circles and people around me, everybody's saying the market is going to be fragile. Watch out if you are going to purchase a property. So that's what I'm looking forward to, have a good deal in this market so that I won't feel pressure that I did a wrong decision.
That's
That's what
wonderful.
I am confusing.
Wonderful. And you know what, Fahim? You asked me, what do I think? And here's what I think. Number one, you want this property so you can have it to yourself to rent it out and get income. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right, good. The only thing stopping you right now is your uncertainty or your wanting to know exactly what the property would have appraised for. Would it really appraise for $1.2 million or would it be less? Is that the question?
Yes, kind of.
All right. So, Fahim, I've been doing this for 20 years right now. And right here in South Florida, we have this bcpa.net, and this property is in Broward County. Let me show you something. You see, we're going to go here at bcpa.net. I could do it right here. Let me pull up the records. Let's take a look. Watch. Come a little closer. Let me show you something. You see, this is the subdivision. I put in the address to this property. And you see, when I press the records, you see what the records say? It shows me that the sales in the subdivision, but listen, when we're doing an appraisal, we can only go 6 months back. But if it's like $1 million property and more, we can go 12 months. But for your sake, to make sure your friends and everybody that is talking to you, you can justify what they're saying. Why don't we only go 6 months back? Take a look. Fahim, do you see the last sale on 555 Sycamore Street? That one sold for $1.3 million. Do you see? Let's take a look. Let me click it. Oh, wow. Take a look here.
But
You can
wait, Paul. The problem is you are showing me data which this property sold like 6 months back. But as of
oh,
now, it is already been down, and the graph is people are telling me that graph is going to be more downward. So
okay.
I don't want to go to 1.3. Rather, I want to, how you can address that, my fear, please.
Good. Very good. Here is what you're looking at. Let's continue the role play. And listen, this role play is live, and these are things that I do live. What if it's backwards? What if I go and I educate the client live with the county records? And this property, the highest sale is exactly what he's saying, 1.5, or not even 1.5, 1,050,000. Let's look at it two ways here. Be smart, people. I'm saying to you that I'm going higher. There is a sale. I'm role playing and saying there's a sale that is higher than our subject. So therefore, it justifies it will appraise. So let's continue down that role play. Now, Fahim, if this property is showing that one of the last sales that's comparable with the square footage and everything and the upgrades and all is $100,000 more, what would you like to offer them? Because this is why they listed it. if I was the listing agent, I came here to see how to list it. Are you feeling that the seller just erroneously put the price above the market condition? But here are the facts. I just wanted to educate you. That's all. That's one way to go. Now, let's go back up. Bear with me, back up. I did this exercise with the buyer live in the house. And I say, oh, Fahim, you know what? The tax roll is showing on this particular one. It looks like the highest sale is like 1 million. Oh my gosh. You know what? Hey, listen, I agree with you. I don't know where the actual seller has put this all together, but I still say this, Fahim, you like this house. Is that correct? Is that
Yes.
correct? Okay.
Yes.
You
Yes.
you see that getting this house, you can go ahead and rent out down below and get income. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, Fahim, what do you feel you want to offer them? They're asking $1.2 million. You know what? I say to you, I wish you the best. Let's do it. What do you want to offer? We're going to write that offer and let's see. If they take it, they take it. If they don't, you know what? Let's go after something else. But at least let's make an offer.
Yeah, you're right.
All right,
That's
good.
good.
Now here you go. Here's the pen. We're going to write it. I'm going to have my office prepare everything and I'm going to send it to you. Okay, time out, time out, time out. That was good role playing. Now I
Thank
want
you.
you to tell me, what do you see that I did? And I want other people to come and tell me, what do you see that I did? Fahim goes first, and then anybody else, raise your hand. Benisa, if you could let them up here, and Stella and Gabe, you guys want to speak on this, speak on it. But Fahim, please, what did you
So,
see?
so first thing which I feel like, and I also do the same thing, I try to be connected in the moment. Yes, I am already connected, but I want to be connected specifically regarding that specific property. Number one. Second thing, I try to keep my trust upright. I don't want to let my client feel that I am only suggesting or pushing them to because of my interest, like my commission, whatever I gonna get in the end. Rather, I will give them a space where they can think wider by helping them to think on a longitudinal plane, not a vertical plane of the graph. So I will, as you said rightly, that okay, you like this property, it is suiting your school or blah blah blah, whatever the good things, I will just widen up their thoughts longitudinally, not vertically. That will give them a feel of confidence. Yes, my realtor is on my side, it is not on the seller side. Then with the comparables, as you showed me, I do the same thing, but when you showed me the comparables, I try to add up the maths also, how much you can bear. If let's suppose that the property cost is real value of property is 1.2 million, the asking price. But my client is thinking of, oh no, I'm fear of the future, so I want to put 100,000 down.
No,
But
no,
then
no, no. Yeah, you have to handle the future is here now. If you
okay,
look in the chat, you could see what the big point is. Good job, Sonia. Good job. Good job. The part of influencing and persuading someone is you actually getting into digging deep into their want and their need and their DBM. You have to repeat. Did you notice how many times I was saying psychologically, how did you feel? I want Fahim, you need to think about it. How did you feel in the role play when Paul was saying to you over and over again, you said you wanted this house. You said you could rent out down below. I said it like 3, 4 times. Do you remember what you felt?
good.
All right. That is what we're talking about. That is what we need to build upon. Handling objections is about taking that objection and turning it into a question and then answering it and educating the client so they could move forward. This takes practice. It takes you using special techniques in order for it to flow. Let me tell you something. At age 35, human beings are already operating 95% subconsciously. We're barely using our brain, 5%. So how are you going to change your habits right now? You
Practice.
are going to have to practice. You're going to have to get somebody that's going to be there on a daily, a weekly basis. Hey, listen, did you do this? Did you do that? At least for 21, 30, 40 days so you can convert. And once you do, you're off and running. You're off and running. And that is what this is all about. That is what I've experienced, and this is what our students experience. You have to change. Now, we have to give time to Stella and Gabe because they came up here first. What is the opportunity that you would like to take advantage of today, Stella, and then Gabe? Like what object?
Yeah, Paul, thank you for the opportunity to share here. Yeah, so what I really liked how you tapped into his feelings and not yours at the transaction, just asking, so how do you feel about it? What are your thoughts? That actually gives you psychologically, on the other hand, as you mentioned, gives you more important facts to tackle and understand exactly where the client is leading. And talking real numbers makes putting more sense into it rather than estimating and going vaguely. So I really liked how you handle it. Appreciate it.
Beautiful. My pleasure. Is there anything, Stella, that we could do for you right now on this here? Anything we could do to help you? Is there anything you see that you want to improve that we could talk about in 1 minute, 2 minutes?
Oh
If
yeah,
not,
like it so I have been in sales since I was 19 years old. So I have sold like a lot of things in my life and now I'm in real estate. Um, it's always a lot of space to learn, like a lot of space to educate yourself. I'm very coachable. I'm eager to learn like how I can build the value aspect I bring to a client when I meet with them. So like, if there's anything that can improve my value aspect, I'm really open to it.
that's wonderful. Well, the gift for you today is thank you very much for participating and sharing your expertise and even demonstrating that you're at a 9 and you want to get to a 10. Inside of the chat right now to everyone, that's my gift to everyone. There is a no obligation growth call. It's 30 minutes. We get on the call. Just go ahead and book it on the screen. I'll share it again right now on the screen. You can go ahead and get that QR code and we could talk about whatever it is that you want to grow. So thank you so much. And then Gabe, what about you, Gabe?
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Stella, and I look forward to seeing you in the grow call. Go ahead, Gabe. What about you?
Hey, Paul. Yeah, so I'm just trying to kind of fine tune my craft with the whole how much to push and how much to kind of back away with. I have no problems, pushing the dialogue, and what my biggest I guess weakness would be is making sure it remains a dialogue and not a monologue. So maybe if you could give some pointers about how much to say and give versus not just and then kind of like stopping and when to kind of listen, because I have noticed that if I'm feeling a little anxious or the lead is cold, I'll try to talk a little bit more just to kind of soften the conversation, but that could also backfire too. So I don't know if you could use that. You
Yeah,
can
yeah, yeah,
help me
yeah.
in that regard in this
Yeah,
very moment, but if you want to touch on that a little
yes.
bit,
Yeah, we can
go
touch on
for
it.
it. If
Yeah,
if you don't understand what I'm saying, I
I
understand.
do. I do. I got you. I got you. Gabe, what you're saying is like you don't know exactly, where you are when you're in the step one conversation step, when you're working hard at getting the client to like you, to listen to you, trust you, and believe in you. You're like, hey man, how can I test? How do they like me? Can I still continue? I'm trying to move. Okay, I got it. I got it. Everyone, look at the screen and you want to go ahead and take a picture of it. Bring out your cameras, everybody, bring out your cameras and go ahead and get that link. That's your growth call link, Gabe, including you. I'll do 1, 2 minutes right now because we're at the end of the time, but get that. And in the chat, I've sent it already. Benisa, if you want to send it one more time, that growth call link, I'll greatly appreciate it because I have to change slides now. Gabe, let's go back right here. Okay. What you're talking about is, hey, you're in step one. And in step one, it's conversation where you want them to like you, listen to you, trust you, believe in you. Then after that, you want to do your fact find and you get their want, need, and their DBM. And then after that, you get their authority to buy. That's a process. And then you don't go the next step unless they give you that. So
Right.
that's the rule of the game. And you're right. If they can't connect with you, don't go in the presentation. That's not your client. Walk away. That's not your client. Because the ones you spend the time with that like you, listen to you, trust you, believe in you, and love your work, they're going to give you 2 to 3 more referrals straight off the bat. So let's just answer your question briefly here. And in the growth call, I'm going to go in more depth. Gabe, when you are in the step 1 and you are getting that conversation, there's 2 techniques that I want you to use. It is called the association technique and the mirroring technique. So obviously the association is something where you can see, hear, smell, taste, all your senses, right? And the mirroring is what you're seeing. Basically, it's their body language, their movement. They put their hand on the cheek. They take their glasses off. They put the glasses on. They're drinking the coffee. You're picking up the coffee. It's a mirroring technique. Psychologically, they're liking you subconsciously and they just don't know it. They cross their leg, you cross it. That's a mirror. Let's go back to the association technique. Well, we can say, all right, ring, 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 ring. If it's on your telephone. Hi, may I speak with Gabe? Gabe comes on. Hey, Gabe, how you doing, man, Gabe? I love that name. Your name is a name of a guy that used to do all of my social media marketing, and he's gone out of business, but I tell you what, he's a great guy. Your first name remind me of that. And then I just go on to talk about it more. And Gabe start to talk, and I say, Gabe, wait a second, man. I pick up an accent. It's like, do you speak another language? I like your accent. It's a little Frenchy. What you got going on there, buddy? I keep going.
Yeah.
Every time I'm getting something to jump on with an association, I'm doing it over the phone. And that's the secret to it. Now, let's say if I'm in person at Starbucks, it's the same way. Just keep going with your observations of the person until you get them, Gabe, to say, you're funny, man. I like you. Can you imagine that? Or somebody says, you know what? I like you, Gabe. I really trust you. That's what you do. You go all the way in the presentation until they say, I feel so calm. And you can ask them, how do you feel right now? So, so far we've just been talking, getting to know each other. How do you feel? Because I feel so good about you. You've got a good energy. And that's just kind of open up their hearts to do what you did. Isn't that interesting? You might want to call, some people say slicky slicky, but it's not slicky slicky. It's the 5 step of the sale, slicky slicky. That's what it is. You're actually pre-programming your clients to move forward. So Gabe, when you're chatting with them, make sure you're liking them. You can say it, but come from your heart. Don't lie. Lie no good. Not good. If you're not authentic and real, they'll smell like a dog and they're going to bite you. Don't do that. Just associate. I like your blazer. Wow, it's so nice. It's pretty good. But say why you like it. I like it because of the pinstripes. It remind me of being a this and I feel whatever. I like your glasses. Hey, whatever. You have to associate and just keep talking to them. Open-ended questions is great because they mean that they can answer the questions with more than just a yes or a no. And that's right. So, Gabe, 1 minute. Give me an example that I could role play that you've been into right now and you want to see yourself doing better. You be the client. Tell me, is it a buyer or seller? And let me work on getting you to like me. Is that okay?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, the most recent one I could give you an example of was somebody that kind of ghosted me. It was an open house walk-in lead. We hit it off really, really well. He told me that they were, this was back in November, actually, no, more October. I was selling a property. It was one of my own listings. He comes in at the open house. We connected right away, gives me his email, says, I'm looking for a property in this area. We were in contact for, at least once a week, steady. He told me he's looking for something in January. Okay, no problem. I gave him time during the holidays, sent him a, Merry Christmas message. I didn't get a reply back. That's when I felt the first red flag. And then now a property came to market that I know would check off every single box that he was asking about. He was telling me that he's ready for me in January, keep sending listings, and he's not answering my calls at all. And the conversation was very fluid. But in the pit of my stomach, I always felt like it wasn't a 10 out of 10 lead. So I'm really curious to know as to what happened. My gut's telling me they probably went with another agent at the end, which is fine. It's a free country. I was just curious, maybe what your thoughts are and maybe what you think I could have done a little better, or if I did do everything right. I mean, you weren't there, obviously, but maybe I'm just looking for some reassurance that I did, make the right moves during the courtship of the process.
Gabe, let's give you some reassurance because you're a good man. You know, everybody give Gabe a good hand because feel good, my friend. You know, in the academy, we teach these 5 words. The 5 words are this 5 words: control what you can control. You have done your best. You've done everything. You should applaud yourself. You know what? I know how to get a lead when they come into the open house. I know how to interact with them. I know how to get them to like me and get their information and to connect with them. And every time that I connect with them, I made sure I was still building up a conversation. Like I wasn't just straight to business. I was like, hey man, how you doing today? Did you see the news that this and that? I was chatting about something to make sure that they're liking me and they're listening to me. If you knew you were doing that, and you do that all the time, and you're actually getting them to chat up and be comfortable, and you actually did ask them the question, are you working with another realtor? No, I'm not. Oh my goodness, thank you so much. So are you saying that I could be your realtor? Because I would be so delighted. I promise you I would do an amazing job, and I'm committed to you. Some people even go as far as saying, you know what, I would go ahead and let's fill out and go over this buyer's broker's agreement. I don't know how you practice, but at least get a good handshake. Can I be that realtor of choice? So I'm going to be your realtor? Yeah, oh, come, give me a hug. Come here. I'm going to be your realtor? Yay! If we know we did all of that and they turn around and something else happens, then just look at it this way and say, you know what? Maybe the universe gave him to another realtor that needed the money more than you, and be grateful for that. Be grateful because you controlled what you can control. That is it. And then something else is going to come your way when you start to show gratitude. That is all. So you did good, my friend. We
Appreciate
are
that.
at the
Thank
top of,
you.
yeah, my pleasure. Please make sure one more time in the chat. I don't want to leave you stranded because we have to give it to you. We're obligated to do that. Your road call is there. If you don't have it, remember on the screen, look on the screen right now, and there it is. Get your phone out and do that. And we will let Benisa close us out because we went over by 10 minutes. Is there anything else that anybody wants to say in the chat? Thank you all, everybody. You're amazing. Vanessa, how do you close us out? Is there anything you want to say?
Absolutely nothing from my end other than I'm looking forward to seeing everyone on our next session, and that would be it from my end.
My pleasure, my pleasure. Everybody in the chat, I put it. Make sure you get your growth call, and I'll see you next time. And thank you so much, Stella and Fahim and Gabe. I look forward to seeing you soon. All the best for this year. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you.
Goodbye, everyone.